You wanna go downstairs? Steve? You wanna go downstairs? Hey vinyl community, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and there's a thread going around. Everybody probably heard by now, everybody that be looking at my channel has long ago heard what happened to Steve Carlson. It's so sad. He had a lot of damage in his home from the floods in Michigan, and pretty much wiped down everything in his basement, including tons of vinyl, CDs, books, baseball cards. I think he had 500,000 baseball cards in there. Pretty much lost everything. He's going to have tough days ahead trying to get his house back up into livable conditions, and he's lost a whole lot in that endeavor. So I won't harp on that. I just want to say, Steve, you're in our prayers, you're in our thoughts, and we hope everything will turn out okay for you. We know you'll persevere. So this is the Gimme 5 Steves in honor of Steve Carlson. And first of all, what are we playing? I've looked through this whole album. Nobody in the band, nobody writing the liner notes or anything has a name Steve. So this one is purely unrelated to Steve. But this is a Charlie record, and this is called The Yardbirds Shapes of Things, a collection of classic Yardbirds recordings, 1964 to 1966. And I figured this would be a real expensive record. I got it on Discogs, $5, $4, something like that. It's in great condition, no issues with the vinyl condition at all so far. The cover's in great shape. Just very, very nice to get to hear. It's got some Eric Clapton playing lead guitar, some Jeff Beck, so on and so forth. So just some really nice Yardbirds music, which I don't have. I think this is my first Yardbirds record, actually. Okay, so here's our Steves. I'm sure this one's already been mentioned by somebody's, but I haven't seen it yet. Stephen Stills, and great member of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Great solo work, Manassas, so many things that Stephen Stills. Let's see, he was in Buffalo Springfield too, right? So, okay, I got fortunate enough to see this guy early on. Unfortunately, he got hung with that Next Dylan tag when he came out, and that's Steve Folberg out of Mississippi, and Jack Rabbit Slim. There's a guy that's been with us a long time. He really started recording about time albums were going out, CDs were coming in. So the only vinyl record I have by him is this. Everything else I've got on CD, but I'll change that eventually because I am a big fan. Steve Earle, Guitar Town. This one took country by storm. Obviously, it's got Guitar Town on it. Hillbilly Highway, just a great album. Produced by Emery Gordy Jr. and Tony Brown, two important producers. Somebody mentioned this. Was it Chris Profey, I believe? Steve Morris from a Kansas album, and talked about later him being in Deep Purple. Well, before that, he had a band called the Dixie Dregs, and then later they just called them the Dregs. And then he's done some on this Steve Morris band, and this is on Electra Musicians from 1984, Steve Morris band. I always wondered why he went the Deep Purple. It was Deep Purple. It wasn't Black Sabbath, was it? It was Deep Purple. The Deep Purple. He played lead guitar for Deep Purple for, I don't know, over 20 years maybe. In the latter day versions, after their heyday. Evidently, they're really big in Europe and other parts overseas. I don't think they're that big a draw in the United States. But Steve Morrison, just a great guitar player. and great singer-songwriter Steve Goodman. And here's him all dressed up. Words we can dance to. All dressed up. Looks like Dr. Jekyll there, doesn't he? From an old British movie, maybe. Okay, so there's my 5. Gimme 5 Stevens. And Steve, you take care of yourself and your wife Patty and your family. I hope you stay strong and you'll persevere. You'll overcome this. Remember, we're all family, and you're our neighbor and our family, and so we're praying for you and wishing you the best. And anything we can do to help, we will. Take care.